Today in the show, we're going to be talking about Eddie Bloomberg, Kid Devil or Red Devil. If you didn't know that he was never turned into a demon, then this show is for you. So Eddie Bloomberg would first appear in Fury of Firestorm at number 24 in 1984, making him chronologically one of the oldest Titans to appear in his generation of Teen Titans. You see, most of his teammates were either created in the mid-2000s or the very early 90s. There wasn't really anyone that was created in between them. Even Tim Drake, his team leader, wasn't created until the very late 80s. So Eddie, when he was very young, actually helped out on his aunt's film set, and one day he had the opportunity to meet Blue Devil, and he absolutely fell in love with the idea of this hero. So he decided he wanted to be the sidekick that Blue Devil never wanted. So one night he snuck into Blue Devil's workshop and created his own battlesuit because he was very good with electronics for his age, and this is when he became Kid Devil. Over the years, he had a number of adventures as an add-on to various stories. He was either an add-on to Blue Devil or featured in Young Justice, but he never did something that put him in the spotlight. So one day after Infinite Crisis, he would try signing up for the Teen Titans, and he would be rejected. So he would go to Lex Luthor to join his project that would give normal people superpowers, and he was rejected. Then one night, he was given a candle by a mysterious stranger in a cloak, and there was no explanation behind this candle. So he went to his friend Zachary Zatara, who was very good with magic. Zachary reveals that this candle is actually a demon stick, and if Eddie lights it, he is going to be taken to this candle's creator. So Eddie has the idea that if he lights it and Zachary tags along with him, the two of them can go to the candle's creator, and if things turn bad, the two of them can just teleport away with Zachary's powers, not knowing that Zachary can't actually use magic on people, he can only affect objects. The candle takes the two of them to Neron, and this is where Eddie strikes a deal with the devil. If Eddie can trust Blue Devil by the time he's 20 years old, he can retain his soul. In exchange for this, he will gain superpowers and a demonic appearance. As the two boys are leaving, it's revealed to Eddie that it's actually Blue Devil's fault that his aunt died. Eddie then goes to join the Titans. A year would pass, and Zachary would leave the Titans and wants nothing to do with any of them. And Eddie really doesn't feel like he belongs on this team. And he gets really close to Rose Wilson, another character who really feels like she doesn't belong on the team. Eddie would be attacked and he needs surgery straight away. The Doom Patrol actually have to be the ones to operate on him. And here it's revealed that Eddie wasn't actually turned into a demon, it's just his metahuman gene that's been manipulated, but this is never revealed to Eddie himself. The chief from the Doom Patrol actually tries manipulating Eddie's emotions so he would join the Doom Patrol, which is how he got all the other members of the Doom Patrol to join the team. Obviously, Eddie would be stopped and he would realize, oh wait, the Titans are actually my friends and I do belong on this team. You know, a really cheesy storyline that was really sweet to read, but very important for Eddie's character development, because after this, he really does become a core member of the Teen Titans. Soon after this, it's actually revealed that Eddie hasn't spoken to Blue Devil yet, so he goes to meet up with him. And here it's actually confirmed that it is Blue Devil's fault that Eddie's aunt died. Eddie just storms off after this, saying that he never wants anything to do with Blue Devil again, knowing full well that he's now going to lose his soul at the age of 20. So Eddie decides that he's going to make the best of the years he has left. Eddie is then attacked by Kid Crusader, who extracts all the demon magic from Eddie into himself. And then Eddie is given the choice to either transfer the contract to Kid Crusader or keep the contract on himself. And Eddie decides to stay as Neron's subject, to stay as Neron's puppet, because he doesn't want to damn anyone else. Eventually, the Titans of Tomorrow would re-emerge, and the Titans of Tomorrow are basically the future counterparts to the Titans, but they are evil. Eddie now goes by Red Devil, has no soul, and is considerably more powerful. Turns out it's his soul that's holding him back from accessing his true amount of power. What you need to take note of in terms of this story is that it's the first time that Eddie and Blue Beetle kind of get close to each other and start forming a friendship. And you also have to take note of the fact that Tim Drake actually altered his future and in turn altered the entire future of the Teen Titans. The Teen Titans would begin to be systematically attacked by the Terror Titans. Eddie would eventually be captured and put under the Clock King's control. He'll be turned into this feral beast that lived to fight in the Dark Side Club. It would only be thanks to Miss Martian and her telepathic abilities that Eddie would be restored to mental health. After this, Eddie feels he has to prove himself to the Titans once again, so he begins to search for Shockwave, but he doesn't really know where Shockwave is, so he's just kind of teleporting all about the US, and eventually Blue Beetle would join in the search. But what's bad for Eddie is that it turns out that Blue Beetle is a better fighter and a better detective, and Blue Beetle hasn't been in heroics that long at this point. The frustration fills Eddie up so much that he's actually able to access his power's full potential. He then teleports to Denver, touches Shockwave, and this melts his exoskeleton in just one single touch. After this, Eddie decides to go by the name Red Devil and actually becomes really close to Blue Beetle. The Titans would try and gain more members, and this fails miserably. But then Brother Blood would return from hell and he would extract the demonic powers from Eddie, and this ended Eddie's contract once and for all. Kid Eternity actually takes Eddie to hell to see if Eddie can regain his powers, because a contract is a contract. Either way, Kid Eternity has this theory that Eddie's going to lose his soul at the age of 20, so Eddie might as well still keep his powers. And this isn't what happened whatsoever. Eddie never signed a contract. He got powers, but he didn't ever need to lose his soul. Blaze actually offers Eddie a new contract, but this time, no matter what, Eddie would lose his soul at the age of 20. And Eddie decides that he really doesn't like that idea, so he just goes back to the Titans with no powers. He essentially becomes the eyes and the ears for the team back at base. However, shortly after this, he would die at the hands of Radioactive Man, and he wouldn't return before the New 52. I would actually like to see Eddie get his own book, a bit like the Trials of Shazam, but instead Eddie's going through the different layers of hell, and in each layer of hell there would be a trial, and at the end of each of these trials, Eddie gains a new demonic aspect from demonic abilities. The ability to manipulate souls, the ability to use hellfire, the ability to use magic. Anything that demons can do, Eddie could do. He would kind of become like the Captain Marvel of hell. Along the way, angels could be attacking him because they only believe in purity, and for Eddie to do this is to turn his back on what they consider purity because they believe everything has to be perfect or some BS like that. I really don't like angels. And the message behind this book could be, purity and perfection sucks when you really think about it. It's a lot of work and not much payoff. You might as well just do you. Be the best you can be with all of your imperfections. I know this story in so much detail because I've actually written the first 2 issues in the synopsis. So if anyone from DC is watching, please drop me an email. Please. I worked really hard on this. Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of Kid Devil? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking out my Patreon so I can make bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my vlogging channel. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.